Okay, so these again are two arms that are coming up out of the water to splash and pull the swimmer forward. I went ahead and drew something that might help you see it a little bit better. If you imagine, these are the lines that the slicing will be taking place on. What I want you to notice is that this is the shoulder. This is sort of the shoulder area along here that I'm trying to guide the neck, the future neck and head of the character, who has to be breathing, has to be swimming along this axis. So there'll be a slight forward motion of this swimmer as he windmills his arms. Each one of these are two windmill arm cycles, but they are actually slightly different. I need to, I want to explain that this piece of clay represents the back of the character as it's rising up out of the water ever so slightly. And in a little bit, I will be putting a head in, perhaps about the size of this Sharpie or bigger. The head will be attached to this body. The head will be going this direction. These swimming arms, one of the swimming arms is, of course, the front, in front of the head, and so it actually gets in the way of the head, and when the arm comes forward, it would actually cross the eventual face and head of the character. The other one is actually represents, this other windmilling arm represents the back side of the character. And so each of these has to be cut slightly differently in order to attach to the body and obscure the right piece. So I'm going to cut the right piece of the, needs to be obscured just a little bit in the right way. So one arm in its essence goes back behind the head, and the other arm, when it windmills, goes in front of the head. I guess that's all I'm trying to say. So what I'm doing is removing this little section of this windmill arm so it can lay in. If you can see, it's going to lay in about right here. This means that the body and the head are going to be in front of this. Later on, I'm going to have to cut out a little bit of this and put the head in as well, because the head needs to, in a sense, be in front of this back. This is the back arm windmilling. This will be the front arm windmilling. And I have to cut out more of the body because this arm dominates, is always in front of everything else. It never is obscured by anything. So it has to fit into the body, the sort of sloping shoulder body coming up out of the water. Now, I'm going to have to put a head that I'm going to next sculpt the head, and it's going to go in here, disappear underneath the arm. It'll still be in there as the person's swimming, and you'll see him gasp for air. Then he'll come back out. Let me explain that there. Then he'll come back out here, and then the head will, I'm going to cut out a little piece here so the head can actually dominate. This is the back arm, and the head should always be in front. And I'm going to try to attach that head to this, here, let me go ahead and cut out an idea of what sort of area I'm thinking. So imagine again, if this Sharpie is the head, this is the kind of, here I'm going to do the Sharpie cap. This is the kind of this would allow again, this Sharpie is like this. This is the head running all the way through it. It'll be, that's the next thing I'm going to sculpt. This head would be in front of this windmilling arm, and so that's why I've cut out that little shape there to allow the cap to, in essence, the head to be in front of the back arm. But it'll disappear and not be in front of this arm, so it'll actually be obscured by this arm. And then it'll reappear underneath this, underneath in here. The head will reappear. Again, this is the shoulder line. See if you can see that. This is the shoulder line, this is the shoulder line. And the head will be parallel to that shoulder line. shoulder, this is the body and the shoulder line going forward, making progress. These are the slice lines as you cut away all the way through it. And this will be, if you're going straight forward here, if the camera is looking directly at it like this, or like this, you're going to see progress as the windmills of the arms of the swimmer move the swimmer forward. Okay, next, onto the head.